Hey everyone, welcome into another edition of Say Hey Plays. My name is Jose again, back again, I should say, with another edition of Say Hey Plays. Shout out to Dabby Cab and Moose Money for a great guest hosting job yesterday. I'm sure everyone enjoyed that little change of pace. And we have a little change of pace today. We are joined today by the All-American, Troy Torrance. Troy, how are you doing?
Good, man. You just won't let that go, huh? It just has to be the All-American.
Yeah, when you get an award such as prestigious as being an All-American, we have to mention it.
I appreciate it, man. Everyone's forgot about it at this point, so I'm glad you're keeping it alive.
Thank you. All-Americans live forever, Troy. That's what I've heard. Just like Hall of Famers.
Legends never die, man.
There we go. Flea Mathis, Justin, LJ from H-Town Rants, BJ, J-Dub, all you guys, we appreciate you guys for joining us. Paco, Healy, Browns, Hughes, Jacqueline joining us. Shout out to you, Jacqueline. Brian Watson, Tori Coker. Shout out to Tori Coker joining us as well here, Rob Freed. Let's get after it here, Troy. I'm excited about this card. I've got no official bets in. This is the last Say Hey Plays until the All-Star break. There won't be another Say Hey Plays till Saturday, because on Friday I'll be doing Jimmy's show. There'll be a little betting with Bouquett action there. So it'll be a Friday morning show and a Saturday morning show, and then no shows till then, which is going to be really weird. I'm going to be walking around my house being like, what the fuck do I do now? What do I bet on? What do I do? So I'm excited to get all this done here, Troy, and happily have a good day going into the All-Star break.
That's tough. That's what's tough about baseball. You got 10 games on a daily basis and less than 1 day to prepare. I mean,
yes, agreed. And when you have all that free time, it's just like, what the hell do I do now?
Right.
So it's fun. Joe Walsh, BJ in here as well. Rocco Rogers. But I don't know how many of us were on the show yesterday. But I heard that Dabby Cab was saying that I was in prison and all this stuff, and I would be happy to report that I did not go to prison. I did not get into a car accident. Someone DM'd me, telling me, it was like, "Hey, are you all right? The cab made it seem like you got into a car accident." And I was like, I am good, thank you, but I'm not surprised by that even a little bit.
Wait, did he really believe that you wound up in prison or jail or some shit?
I don't know. I see multiple people saying that I posted bail, so it's nice to see that. I've made it, everyone. Thank you. But I will share one image from the night as well, and I have to upload it and make it all nice here. But I went on a pub crawl. I took a day to make some content. Well, I was supposed to make content, but my cameraman unfortunately got a little bit too lit himself, so zero video was taken by that guy. But it was a great time, Troy, and you've seen the outfit already, I think.
Yeah, I've seen that. You sent me a picture of it.
Yeah, this is what we do. I was a founding father. I was just longing for a museum, I guess, in this picture. And this is the end of the night where I was like, you know what? I'd like to go home now. And, as babies do, Troy, once I decide I want to go home, I sit down, I don't move, and I said, all right, I'm done. So it's good. Good.
Start stomping your feet till you get what you want, man.
Thank you. And shout out to Hector, who was there as well. Shout out to you, Hector. All right, let's get into it here. I'm excited to talk about all these games. And, I didn't watch much baseball yesterday, but I did see some scores, Troy. And I did see these Texas Rangers lose to the Nationals. Yeah, and I was like, man, yeah, you hate to see that. Every single time these Rangers lose, I will be pointing it out. I will be sitting there. I will be laughing. Obviously all the money is on them here because we've talked about this at several points. They're like America's favorite team. They're super public. Everyone loves the offense, et cetera, but they're good. I mean, I get it. But, I'm not betting the Rangers here at minus 210, especially on the road, especially with 90% of the money on them. I understand Pat Corbin, not good. And I understand the Rangers against lefties, second best full season, 135 weighted runs created plus. Last 2 weeks, 173. So they're crushing lefties. But I'm not betting this game. And if anything, if I want to bet this game, I bet first 5 under here because their offense is underwhelming a little bit. for the last couple of weeks. So I pass on this game to start off, Troy, but I definitely lean maybe an under and maybe even Nationals first 5 have had the balls to do it.
So we're seeing some line movement towards the Rangers, which immediately makes me on the Rangers or pass for the most part. And we're talking about 90% of bets, 94% of tickets. And when you plug this in the database, in this price range, based on this market move, it's about 11-6 spot for the Rangers. That's 65%, and at minus 210, you need 67 to break even. So this is a minus EV Rangers bet if I was to move on it, in my opinion. So both pitchers are guys I kind of want to back, or I've been wanting to back recently, and both are expected to regress. At least their numbers suggest they're going to regress. I just don't really have much interest in this series at all, so I pass as well.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch this game just because I want to see the Rangers lose every game. You know, I have now a vendetta against the Rangers. It's not even like because I'm saying, oh, they're not going to make the playoffs. It's literally just because of all the shit I've taken now from saying the Rangers aren't going to make the playoffs. Like I said, there's Rangers fans coming out of the trees now everywhere. So I'm excited to watch this team fall apart in the second half here.
And since you've said that, they've been on. I mean, what have they been like? They've been under 500 since you came out publicly with that. Rangers are not making the playoffs.
Oh well, you know they know Troy.
And I've lost with the Rangers, and I've thought about you every time I've fucking bet on the Rangers. So.
Well, they're 2 games up on the Houston Astros, who have had one of the worst first halves in their last 5 years as the dominant team. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm very excited to watch. Like I said, the Texas Rangers fall apart here. But so let's see. Let's see here. And Pat Corbin has surprised us all before. Boston Red Sox, Oakland A's here. One of the things that I've just threw a pat on my back for was game 1 of this series, knowing that Nick Penvetta was throwing there, and knowing now today that we're getting Chris Murphy here today as our bulk guy, and Tanner Scott pitching for us here today as an opener. I'm very interested to see what Tanner Scott does because I think this is his first or second appearance on the Red Sox, so whatever. But JP Sears is a competent, good pitcher for them. I'm glad I didn't do a show yesterday because I would have had to decide if I want to bet on Paulie Punch-Outs, Paul Blackburn, and thank God I didn't, so that was good. But I had to pass here, unfortunately, as well, Troy. I lean first 5 under here for sure, but I just don't. I don't trust my Red Sox all the way here. They're really trying to bring me in too, Troy. These motherfuckers. 2 weeks ago, I was all sell everyone, suck. But now we've beaten the A's twice here. We're going to beat them again here today. We play them again after the All-Star break. And they're trying to get their record up and be like, maybe we're in it. Maybe we're going to compete for the wild card. No. Sell. Trade your players, damn it. They win today. I pass the game. I probably lean under. The market-wise here, for the total, let's start with that. 82% of the bets and 85% of the money on the over. It hasn't moved for me, 9.5. And sidewise here, 87% of the bets, 76% of the money on the Boston Red Stockings. So ultimately nothing here for me, but I am mildly interested in the under here as well.
I'm kind of in the same boat as you. I mean, when we get bullpen games from teams not named the Rays or the Giants, I kind of find them tough to cap. The Rays and Giants, they run bullpen games a few times a week, right? Everybody else, you don't really see it. So it kind of made me just pass this game. This was the last one I touched on, and then this is the last one I touched on before before we went live here. And I have no idea what we're going to get from Murphy. I mean, his numbers look great, but if you look at his expected numbers, I mean, they're not even close to where he's currently pitching. Meaning he's due to regress as well. And Sears is pretty much about as average as a pitcher as you can get, but at least he's consistently average.
This is amazing for the fucking A's too.
Right. Yeah, I'm passing. Let's get on to some better games here.
Yes, and I want to get onto this game. We're a little jumping out of order, but my guy BJ in the chat making big boy bets as always here, and he's got 2 official plays here. One of them in this game, Tampa Bay Rays money line, and when BJ's making his 3-unit bets, he's got those 1,500 on there. So shout out to BJ. I'm sweating already thinking about that much money on one baseball game. But I'm excited to hear your take on this one, Mr. Troy, because you look at this game last night, it was like minus 120 for the Rays, and I was like, that's weird. But I think, correct me if I'm wrong here, and I'll check right now as I'm looking, but the Rays, they're on a 7-game losing streak right now. Jesus, it's not something you see from the Rays very often. And shout out to Jimmy for betting the Baltimore Orioles. Only 2 games back now as well. I'll take only 50% credit for that because I've talked up the Orioles a bunch too. But it's going to be an interesting game here because the line is just moving on the Rays right now. Let me just refresh Bovada real quick so I can make sure here. But we've got a minus 131 now for the Rays, which, again, is interesting because, it's the 7-game losing streak and you're facing the best team in baseball again. And I'm glad the Braves are starting to flex a little bit and show everyone how good they are. But the Braves are the best team in baseball, and it's really not close. Like I think they're going to cakewalk to a World Series this year, and it's going to be interesting to watch. But obviously they stay healthy. But it seems like today's not their day, Troy. It seems like this is going to be the spot where the Rays break their 7-game losing streak, et cetera, et cetera. What's funny, obviously 7-game losing streak, you got to imagine something's going wrong. Last 2 weeks, 25th against righties, 79 weighted runs created plus, by far their lowest mark of the season for any 2-week stretch that we've covered on this program. Full season, they're still first, 121 weighted runs created plus. And Bryce Elder has been just good this year. 7-1. If you look at his baseball savant, all of his shit is blue, but keeps the ball on the ground and does a good job of it. So, I mean, at this point, I guess I have to lean Rays here, and you take the -1 or you take an over here because maybe we think that the Rays score some runs here off of Bryce Elder, and it's tough to not say that the Braves aren't going to score. So I pass here. BJ dropping a good chat here, a comment. 9-1 is Eflin straight up on home games, and there's a Glass Now fave in there. I don't know why we're talking Glass Now, I guess. I guess it was yesterday because he pitched on Friday. Glass Now favorite -120, only 2 hits versus 6 hits for the Tampa Bay. Strider -150 time against Bradley. Now the books got the Rays at -120. Very interesting notes here by BJ. Shout out to you, my man. Let us know what you guys are thinking here. I lean over market-wise real quick before I pass it off to my guy, Troy. 71% of the bets, 61% of the money on the under here. I have it still at 8.5 here. Some books are starting to show 8s allegedly. And totals money line wise here. As you guys would kind of predict with all that money on the Rays, or I should say all that line movement towards the Rays, 50-50 ticket split, but 84% of the money on the Tampa Bay Rays here.
So BJ has massive fucking balls for betting against the Braves. I mean, I don't see how you could possibly do it. I just looked at while you were talking, I kind of just filtered my my bets that I've went live on Twitter with. I'm up 13 units betting on the Braves this season.
Yeah, it's fucking nice, huh?
And it's just fucking green everywhere, and it's just like that. There's no way I'm getting in front of the Braves, especially when the Rays are kind of coming back down to earth. They're just kind of having a rough stretch. All teams do, right? And the Rays are having theirs right now. I'm on the Braves. I'm just going to continue riding the Braves until they show me that they're going to lose 2 in a row or go on a stretch where they'd make a significant dent in my bankroll. But how could I bet against them? So what I was able to pull on this game is that the Rays, as a short home favorite or short home dog, right? Within this price range, I mean, they're 4-6. It's not like they're winning these games, and that goes back to the beginning of the season. And on average, they're losing these games by 2 runs. So some of these have been blowouts. Now, I don't think that's going to be the case today. You got Eflin, and actually, I love how the Rays bats profile versus Elder. But Elder just shown his ability to command the zone, and I kind of believe in him. At first, I was looking to fade Elder, believing in his expected metrics and expect the regression that the numbers say we should be seeing, but it's just not happening. So I'm on the Braves money line. I bet it last night. I probably wouldn't have bet it had I seen this massive move towards the Rays this morning. But yeah, I'm on the Braves again.
Yeah, I think I'm staying off this game because I don't know what to expect from Zach Eflin, and Real Deal Prime asking about his thoughts on his performance. It's going to be really interesting to see what he does, because obviously we kind of know Zach Eflin as a home road splits guy. There's in that category of, like the Kodai Sengos of the world, who we all know when to bet on, when to fade him. At home this year, at 56 innings pitched, a 2.2 ERA. Funny enough, he has 5 home runs there as well as on the road. I expect that number to be a little less, but on the road here, 40 and 2/3 innings pitched, a 6.45 ERA on the road. So it's obvious that you want to bet on Eflin at home here. Honestly, if I had gunned ahead, I think I'd take the Rays here too, just because of the line movement here. But I want nothing to do with this game here. So I'll be watching. And if the Braves end up sweeping the Rays, the best team in the American League, then fuck me. We got a World Series prohibitive favorite on our hands then. All right, next game, the game we kind of skipped over, Cubs-Yankees here. Domingo Germán versus Kyle Hendricks. That last Domingo Germán spot was a great, easy fade of Domingo. 3 runs, 2 of them earned against the Baltimore Orioles, but they still won the game 6-3 because these Yankees, it's funny. The Angels are obviously going into free fall without Trout and such. The Yankees have been horrible without Judge offensively, but they're still winning games. So you have to respect them that way. Do I really want to trust Domingo here? Because, again, this is one of those spots where I thought maybe a first 5 under here. But the Yankees against lefties have just been flat good. I can't really say anything about negative about it. Third best last 2 weeks, 165 weighted runs created plus and 156 plate appearances, so plenty of sample size as well. Full season, they're 11th, 108. But I guess I was mildly interested in the Yankees here, but I really wanted nothing to do with this game either. I really thought about first 5 under here, though. That was the first thing I was looking at, thinking, Domingo can shut down a pretty average Cubs offense, and we know what the Yankees offense has been, but Yankees against lefties is a little scurry for me right now. Market-wise, real quick, 65% of the bets and 57% of the money on the over here. Hasn't moved. Little interesting. Sidewise here, bigger bets on the Yankees. Not really that surprising. 41% of the tickets and only 51% of the money. So it's pretty split, but obviously bigger bets are coming in on the Yankees. Do I really want to back them here? Last game of the All-Star break when they really need to get healthy, et cetera, et cetera. Not really. So I passed this game, but I lean first 5 under here again.
So following this market, we're seeing U-shaped movement. This line started off moving towards the Cubs from 136 Yankees to 125 Yankees, and now it's back down to minus 146 Yankees. So
that's crazy.
Overall, we're talking about 6 cents of movement roughly towards the Yankees. And this recently changed because I had some numbers drawn up that suggested the Cubs. But like you said, I believe in Hendricks. And on the road this season, he's got a 1.71 ERA, 1.32 or 0.132 OBA. And the Yankees, they've been crushing lefties, but they're bottom of the league versus right-handed pitching over the past month. And Germán is another guy that I think is more of a league average pitcher. He's not going to be, he's had a lot of variance recently, but he's going to be pretty average in the long run. So I did move on the Cubs first 5, and I like taking the Cubs first 5. Their starting pitching is the best in the MLB, and I just think it's a good spot to take Hendricks.
You can tell I didn't do baseball yesterday because for some reason I thought Hendricks was a lefty. I don't know why. He just screams lefty to me because he throws so fucking soft, I guess, that he just screams lefty to me. Now that I know he's not a lefty, I'm going to take the first 5 under here.
I think the first 5 under is a good bet. I actually have a note on that. I wanted this because this market's so ridiculous right now. I just wanted to wait for it to cool down a little bit. We still got 3 hours or so, or 2 hours before this game kicks off. So I think the under is a good look.
It's funny. Our friends at Bodog or Bovada, as we call it in the States here, they're putting up a a 5 minus 130. You can get a 4.5 at even money for the first 5 under, which is very interesting. And Bet Online, our true friends, because they give us better odds, under 5 minus 120. So I will take that. First 5 New York Yankees, Cubs there. First 5 under 5 there. First official play of the card here. Very funny that I thought Kyle Hendricks was a lefty. I don't know why, but whatever. So I'll take that. Shout out to you, Troy. And again, shout out to Bet Online. We talk about this often. Keep mentioning it. Go to the website, pubsportsradio.com. You'll see our lovely faces on there, and you'll see Bet Online's logo. Click that logo if you're wanting to sign up. They have a deposit match. It's a good time. They have good odds there. So shout out to Bet Online.
Hey, I do want to say this though too. The first 5 line, the first half line, last night it moved 20 cents towards the Cubs, and it still moved towards the Cubs. I'm referring to Pinnacle's line, and I should bring up this stat as well. In this price range between minus 140, minus 120, and the cash split is 50-50. Meaning, and I put it was like between 48% and 52%, both sides. The away team's 10-3 straight up. 10-3. So, and and that's just regardless of the market move. Right now, it's moving back and forth between the two. So we'll see where it lands, but it gets even stronger if the market had moved towards the Cubs. So Cubs first 5.
I would appreciate if the Cubs do come through here, because that would mean this would be a lower scoring game, I hope. So, Cubs would be a good dog there, deal prime. I don't hate it at all, but I'm on first 5 under 5 there, minus 120 official there. Good notes by Troy. We appreciate him joining the program, and all of you guys. Hit the like button while you guys are here. We appreciate. We're breaking down all the games on the card here today, and we're trying to send into the All-Star break. Happy men here. Happy men. Royals Guardians here, Troy, and talking about live dogs here. This might be another one, just based off the market here. And I don't want to fucking back Ryan Yarbrough. I think he sucks. I thought he sucked since Tampa Bay.
That's why they got rid of him.
Exactly. But he's fucking crafty, apparently. And here we are again. He's getting checks, collecting checks, getting innings against Shane Bieber. And Shane Bieber coming off of getting touched up by the Braves here. And the market thinks it's going to happen again, which is very interesting. And I'll go over that right now. Let's start with the total here, because it's moved a lot, actually. I had this on the opposite way. 53% of the bets and 77% of the money on the under, which is what I was thinking as well here. But that number, I remember it being on the over. Maybe I'm blind, but 77% of the money on the under there and on the money line here is what really piques my interest. 22% of bets, but 91% of the money on the Kansas City Royals. So somebody out there, who knows, think that these Royals are going to win a close game here, close, low-scoring game, which, again, led me first 5 under here. It's like, I expect Shane Bieber to bounce back. He's obviously facing one of the worst offenses against righties in the league. He's faced these guys before. 6 innings, 2 hits, no earned runs, and a 3-4 loss there. I kind of like first 5 under here, Troy, and I think I'm going to move on. What do you think?
I haven't really looked at this total, but I agree with you. I think we got a live dog. I've been backing the Guards pretty heavily lately, past 3 games, this whole series. So the fact that I'm kind of looking towards the Royals, that kind of says something. And I haven't been profitable betting dogs, but this is one I if I haven't had the recent history of losing with dogs, I'd be betting this one. All the iterations of the database show a 50-50 spot. If you're getting 50-50 on a plus 200, that's a profitable spot. Jesus, I just got to probably just move on it and just close my eyes. Don't look at it till 9 p.m. tonight when I'm summarizing my bets. But yeah.
I think that's actually what I'm going to end up doing here, which is hilarious. By the way, shout out to Justin McAfee. I love this play for him. Stacks Pod Royals team to over 3.5 plus 110.
Ooh, I kind of like that.
Shout out to you, Justin. The only reason I'm not on that is because the money on the under 3.5 is obviously low. I'm gonna put my fucking my tiny bulbous sack on the table here, and I'll roll with the Kansas City Royals money line here.
Let's go. I'm riding with you. I'm riding with Jose.
I'm gonna take full game as well, just because again, I believe that all teams, however shitty they are in the major leagues, they have their 1, 2, 3 guys in their bullpen that they trust to get outs. And obviously the Royals traded one of them in Aroldis Chapman, but they still have Stamont, they still have Barlow. At least I think they have Stamont at least, but I think they can get the outs when we need them here. And again, let's get it. I bet you some of these like division favorites seem to like let's get out of here, man. Let's just get out to this fucking All-Star break, enjoy our evenings here. So I'll take Royals money line plus 196 here, and first 5 under 4.5 minus 115. Let us know in the chat, guys, because I see you guys cackling and laughter in there right now. I don't know what you guys are laughing at. And Troy, by the way, Billy's saying facts, Troy. He's right there with you with this Royals shit. You bet it. You don't look at it until after the games are over. You just don't worry about it. Yep. And Roka, let us know about those pitching prop lines that you see here, because
hey, that's another thing about this series too. Is like yesterday, the Royals were hitting. I mean, they put some good balls. I mean, they were barreling up the ball. That's what I'm trying to say. And they had runners. They had traffic on the base path. I mean, maybe Justin's right with the team total over. I did put a half unit on the Royals though just now, and I'm gonna be looking at that team total as well.
This is going to be a fun game here. It's going to be a fun game nonetheless. I can't wait to just motherfuck the Royals going into the All-Star breaks. I cannot wait. All right, next game here. And shout out to everyone as always. It's a good little cap we've got here going on. Marlins Phillies here. A good matchup, a rematch of one we've had already. Nola versus Baby Jesus here. And in their previous matchup is surprisingly high scoring. We have a super low total here at 7. 5 2/3, 9 hits, 4 earned runs for Aaron Nola. And for Baby Jesus, he went 6 innings, 8 hits, 3 earned runs in his start against the Phillies. That was April 11th, so obviously it's been a while. Both guys coming off of good starts. Jesus, 6 innings, shutout versus the Cardinals. They were up 15-2, they won 15-2, so I'm sure it's smooth sailing for Jesus there. And Nola against the aforementioned Tampa Bay Rays, who, slumping or not, is the best team in the American League. 7 1/3, 5 hits, 1 earned run against them at Tampa Bay here. Honestly, Troy, this total being so low, a 7, really motivated me to take the over here. I don't take many overs. I've I guess, adopted Nola's persona as taking unders. But I just really wanted nothing to do with this under, especially with how low it is. I mean, everyone's on it too. 63%. Oh, that just changed. 62% of the bets and 95% of the money on the under. And according to Action, this started at an 8 and has dropped all the way down to 7, which, again, I want no part of that, really. Market-wise for the money line here, basically 50-50, 54% of the bets, 44% of the money on the Phillies, excuse me. So I definitely lean over now at this fucking 7, but I don't want anything to do with this game either. It's just I don't know how many times I say it. I just don't bet Phillies games. It's just weird fucking innate thing that I just don't trust them at all.
Market moves on totals that close at 7 are 63%, and this 7, when the total closes at 7, it usually goes under. Let's just put it that way. Now, I get what you're saying. I mean, I would never put my money on the under 7 because just one bad inning, one or two walks in an inning, there's just so many ways it can go wrong. I don't trust it. But for this one, I did move on the Marlins money line. I mean, we've seen a significant move towards the Marlins, and in this price range, with the way the cash flow is, I mean, this is a 71% spot per the database. I'm trusting it. Luzardo's been a Cy Young quality pitcher. I mean, he's just been elite, man. And I've watched him pitch too. It's not like I'm just checking box scores. It's not even close. Like, batters struggle. Teams struggle versus Sky. And, Nola has been underperforming all season. But his numbers we should expect some positive regression from him, and it's probably coming his way. And I think that's reflective in the 7 total we're getting that dropped down from 8. So I like the Marlins today. I only put a half a unit on them. I have been backing them recently, but not in this series. So this is the first time I'm on the Marlins this series.
Exciting stuff here. Troy Torrance betting on the Miami Marlins there. So I'm excited to watch this game now. I actually have a rooting interest, so I'll be cheering for you, Troy. I don't know what it is about the Phillies. I really don't know what it is. I just can never bet them or bet on their games. I don't know what it is. By the way, let's shout out Debbie, Cab, and Moose Money, both in the chat right now. You guys did a great job yesterday hosting the show. I appreciate you both, my guys, and I'm glad that you guys helped me get my bail money out. So thank you, Debbie, Cab, for that zeal of bail money, obviously. So thank you, my man. Let's go to Toronto, Detroit here, and though I was not capping games yesterday, I did see that the Detroit Tigers threw a no-hitter. I did see that. And again, we mentioned this off the top of the show. I root for the Rangers to lose every game. That also means I need the Toronto Blue Jays to win games. I've become a huge Blue Jays guy now because I want them to make the playoffs. And maybe it's just someone in the AL East, so that's fine. And this opened up at a minus 125 last night. Minus 128 is what I wrote it down at. And I was like, that's weird. I understand it coming off a no-hitter, but whatever. And Terry Skubal coming off of his, debut 4 innings of no-hit ball as well. But I feel like this has to be a Blue Jay spot here. Again, no hit. You should be coming back, hitting well. I know Skubal is a dog, like BJ is saying here, but I tend to think maybe this is just my bullshit observations, but that second start, is concerned. Like Manoah's second start, that's when I'm going to fade Manoah. I'll be interested to see how he does. And I want to fade Skubal here. So I think I'm going to move on a side here, Troy, which is rare for me. I think I'm going to go on the fucking Blue Jays -1 here. What do you think?
Wow. Yeah, I don't know if I'd be able to do that. The Blue Jays are kind of your Phillies to me. I can't bet Blue Jays games. I'm just not profitable betting Blue Jays games. I never get them right. But I did move on this total. Let me pull up. Let me make sure I got this is not right here.
I love how we switched. I went from the totals and now you're going to the totals.
Now we're flip-flopping, yeah. Where the hell is why did I have this all the way up at the top?
By the way, -1 is 101 for me, so I'll move on that officially.
So this market did move towards the Tigers, but that doesn't really mean much because the Tigers are the least predictable team in the league per the market. So market moves and the Tigers' results don't matter at all. There's no correlation. And that actually is pretty similar with the Blue Jays on the road. The market just doesn't get them right. So I just stayed off the side. Bassett's numbers are significantly worse on the road, but he's pitched better as of recent. Jimmy keeps talking about some change they made with the way they're communicating the pitch to him, or I'm not sure what that.
Yeah, I think he went from calling his pitches to letting his catcher call his pitches. I think it's crazy to let pitchers call their own pitches either.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree, and I think it's made a difference. And obviously Skubal's a highly touted left-handed pitcher. His second game back. This total opened at 8.5 with 97% of the money on the over. And when I was looking at it yesterday, it didn't move. So we had 97% of the money on the over. The market didn't move. What's that look like now? Is that cash flow similar?
Let's talk about it. On the total, correct?
Yes.
So we're at 62% of the bets and 88% of the money on the over.
Okay, so it's come down a little bit, and the total actually dropped down to 8 despite all this money on the over. So I did move on the under, and when I plugged this in, totals that open between 8.5 and 9, total moves down. The total moves down a half a run. That's 58% of the under. But this is 90%, so I'd have to update this. But if 90% of the money is on the over with the same criteria, it's 8-3 to the under. And I'm sure that doesn't change much with 80%. It probably just gives you a bigger sample of a 70% under trend. So I am on the under 8.5. I only put a half a unit on it because I have no balls in betting totals. And now I see it at 8. Now I wish I fucking hammered it. But,
that's funny. I think I'll move on the under here. I always love those spots where all the money is on one side and then the market just says fuck you and just moves it to the other side, like making it easier to bet it. So I'm going to move on it. I'm going to take first 5 under here just because of my lack of belief in the bullpens on either of these squads. I know Jimmy will say that the Tigers have a good bullpen, but I don't trust the Blue Jays bullpen either. So minus 120, first 5 under 4.5 here for me. BJ asking about Springer on paternity leave. Yeah, I think he is, BJ. And Brown Sue's saying yes, and so is Spenny. Yeah, the Blue Jays, they fuck. Who would have thought? They fuck. So paternity leave for all of them. First 5 under 4.5 for me, minus 120, and I will still move on to Toronto minus 1 plus 101. I would rather that market say it's going to be a higher scoring game when you take minus ones, but maybe it'll be like 3-0. We could just move on with our day. Who knows? Let's go Baltimore, Minnesota. Next game on our slate here. A great pitching matchup just because it's my guy, Joe Ryan. I love Joe Ryan to death. He's one of the better pitchers in baseball, I think. I'd pick him to start a rotation with. I love him. But I just can never – I don't know what it is. I can never back him here. I think he's always a little bit overpriced here. And what's funny to me here, Troy, opened up at minus 160 last night, and I was like, okay, that makes sense, I guess. You wake up, now it's down to minus 149, minus 150. And it's like, oh, okay. You know, and I get it. I get it, of course. It's the Baltimore Orioles. I think the second best team in the American League, maybe. At a big plus money price, plus 135-ish. I get it. I get why everyone would bet it, but I just can't get there with Kyle Gibson. His last, like all of his last couple of starts, he's been giving up runs. 6 innings, 3 hits, 4 earned runs against the Yankees, 4 2/3, 9 hits, 6 earned runs against the Reds. I don't want to back him really ever. And I respect that the Lions moving towards Baltimore here. Maybe I could back them on that aspect, but I just want nothing to do with this game.
So this game was fascinating to me because it actually, in some books, it opened at 144. You see some 160s out here. I mean, it's just crazy the discrepancies between books. And if it was at minus 160 with this public spot where it is, 80% of tickets, 83% of the money, whatever it is at this point, this would be a twin spot despite the market move. It really doesn't matter. But however, now we're down to minus 150, minus 140s on some 148s on some books. It's not quite fitting the profile that I'm looking for to back a public home team. And that's crazy that I even talk about backing a public home team. Before the database, those words would never fucking come out of my mouth. Trust me. But yeah, so I'm off this game. I'm also in the same boat as you. I don't like to bet on Joe Ryan. I think he's overpriced, but I mean, his numbers are what they are. He's elite. So, and Gibson is consistently average. Or even below average, some stars say. I shouldn't say consistently average because he's not that fucking good. So yeah, this one was pretty easy to pass for me.
All right, and by the way, some Ryan Mountcastle questions in the chat. Yes, he is back off the injured list. He had vertigo, and these are quotes from him, and these are tweets from 10 minutes ago, saying that he feels like a quote normal human again. He said he was experiencing vertigo symptoms, but he was before he was officially diagnosed. And apparently the ball looked, quote, pea-sized when he was hitting. So I feel like that will help Ryan Mountcastle here to start. But the official lineups are out, and he is not in the lineup officially yet. So I should say, or not starting. Ryan O'Hearn gets to start at first base. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if we saw him pinch hit or something. But nothing here for us as well. Great series that I did not catch a second of so far this weekend, unfortunately. Brewers, Reds, and that's just kind of that's the NL and the AL Central for you. Like, you can put the two best teams in the AL and NL Central against each other. People will not watch these. And I mean, the most, I don't know. I don't know if it's the most viral moment of the year, but the most impressive play on the baseball field I've seen so far is Elly De La Cruz. I think he singled, steals second, steals third, and fucks around and steals home to give the Reds the lead there in that game. That was sicko shit by Elly. And it's shocking how good he is. Now, what's funny about this game, you see it's Ben Lively on Wade versus Wade Miley on the screen here, but action, or I should say bookmaker, the books like Bovada are not putting out pitcher action with this, at least not on for me here. I've had just pitchers listed, no action pitchers listed, and the lines at minus 125 for the Brewers here. I don't know if by now it's updated and we've got a little official here, but we'll see. I have my guard up just in case. Ben Lively activated off the IL as well, and his rehab starts have been pretty good. 6 innings, 6 hits, 1 earned run, 2 Ks, 2 walks. 5 innings, 1 hit, no earned runs, 3 Ks, 2 walks here. Do I want to really fade the Reds here? I kind of don't. Wade Miley's been good, and I've bet against Wade Miley and lost. But I just don't know what to do here at all here. So shout out to Justin McElvey. He said he bet the Brewers to win the series, not feeling confident now. I mean, at least you got Justin, a nice, easy, just take the Reds money line here, and you can make money back either way. I'm pretty sure it was like minus 120, right? But I can see why it goes on the Reds. I'm not on the Reds. I can't bet on the Reds when anyone besides fucking like Hunter Green or Andrew Abbott or one of their actually good pitchers are on the bump here. So I wanted nothing to do here. RVD 420 on the over. I will mention the market real quick. Totals wise here. Oh, pretty surprising. Kind of expected there'd be more money on the over. 61% of the bets and 77% of the money on the under. It's at 9.5 here. Apparently still at 9.5, though. Apparently books are starting to show 9s, but we'll see how that works out. And market for the money line here. Unsurprisingly, the Reds, 44% of the bets, 60% of the money on the Reds there. So again, minus 133 on the screen, but it's dropped down a little bit to minus 125. Is that the pitchers actually being listed here? I'm not sure. And by the way, Brown saying Pinnacle, Circa, and South Point just moved to 9s. So that's a big thing there to start off there.
I struggle with the Reds as well, just because they've been so hot, and I feel like they're still mispriced to some extent. I just don't feel like we've seen the true Reds. Their starting pitching is average at best, and I really wanted to back Wade Miley in this situation. I was trying to find ways to be on the Brewers, but Pinnacle, some of these sharper books, they got the line moving towards the Reds. And it just doesn't seem like a profitable spot on either side per the database. So if I was to be taking a side here, I'd be backing the Brewers. But I just feel like there's not a massive edge either way. The pitching edge, I'd give it to the Brewers, a small edge. And the hitting matchups, small edge to the Reds. So I just don't see that there's a profitable side, a clear profitable side in that game.
I agree. And I kind of feel the same way about Wade Miley. And Justin, I was so close to sneezing there. I don't know why it didn't come out. I like Wade Miley. Like, I think he's fine. And I've lost money on him. So I'd rather back, but I don't know. I'd rather pass this game. So I've got nothing here as well. Let's roll on here. Let's go roll on here and let's move on to Seattle-Houston, another good series. I would really appreciate the Astros winning. Again, these are all just anti-Rangers thoughts. I would like the Astros to win and make this division even closer. But this is not the pitching matchup we'd like to see. Logan Gilbert has just been a dog. He's been one of my favorite pitchers since he came up. I just don't know about him, though, Troy. I can never back him. Well, I have not backed him this year, at least.
I remember you talking about this, actually.
I mean, he's great. He's fucking great. He went complete game shutout last time out. Do I want to back a pitcher coming off of complete game shutout? I would say 95% of the time, no. Like, right. I've realized this, and the one that sticks out of my head was Joe Ryan after the Red Sox. He shuts them out, et cetera, et cetera. and then gets crushed his next start. I believe his next start was against the Braves, so I mean it's understandable there. But
gave up 6 runs in 4 innings or something that game.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm scared to back him here. And Brandon Belak coming back from a minor league stint there, and he was up and down, 7 innings, 2 hits, no one runs against the Rockies. That's, impressive in some aspects, I guess. It just feels like the Astros somehow win this game, though. And I love Lou Gilbert. I looked at his last few starts against the Astros, too. It's just like 2-3 earned runs through 6-7 innings. And I just couldn't get their confidence enough wise to fade him here. So I passed here as well, but gun to head here, I'm taking the Astros. And I don't know about you, Troy. My least favorite lines to see in baseball are these -130 +108s. And there was a couple of them on the board here today. I fucking hate them because I just never know what to do with them.
You know what's crazy? In the database, when I started logging these plays up until the end of May, those -130 to -102s were looking like they were going to be the most profitable spots. I couldn't believe it because some of the trends I was finding were 60 to 80% on these pick'em lines. I was like, holy shit, this is really going to be a gold mine. Since then, it hasn't been the same, man. All of July moved back the other way. I mean, we're talking about 50-50 spots in these ranges where you'd expect it to be. But when I see Gilbert's on the mound, I kind of lose interest immediately. I don't know what it is about this guy. I expect him to be good, but when I watch him, he doesn't look good. He doesn't look confident. He looks like he's just out there trying to get through innings. And I just think the variance with this guy is too much. And I was really hoping to see a line move towards the Astros. And I thought that's what we were going to see. I really did. I was really planning on betting the Astros, but because the Mariners are 1-10 on the road when the market moves towards the home team. So, yeah, and that's crazy because they stick out like a sore thumb when I pivot this out. But it's not the same when the market moves towards them on the road. I mean, they're 50-50. So there's just not a lot for me to go on. I feel like I really want to be on the Astros here. I'm hoping we see U-shaped movement and we get back to where the market is kind of neutral, so I could back the Astros.
It's funny. Mike M is saying 90% of the cash on the Mariners and went from -130 to -125. I just checked Bovada. This is up -138 now for the Seattle Mariners. +115 now for the Houston Astros. That's crazy. I don't feel like you see that very often, especially with the Astros. And yeah, it's -131 on Bet Online. So, I could see Lucas Fox talking about a team total over 3.5. I assume for the Astros. I didn't see which team. I'd probably lean that way too, but the movement towards the Mariners is scary, and it just happened. I can tell you that. So, yeah, I guess that means I'm staying off this game.
Yeah, I just want to find any damn reason to be on the Astros here, but yeah, I'm off.
Yeah, no thanks here. Not forcing plays. See, so it's nice. This is what we do here. Focused, concern capping, not forcing plays. I have to keep telling myself that. Cardinals, White Sox. And as aforementioned, another -130 +108 here. Steven Matz getting the start. I forgot about Steven Matz. I just a name that, whenever he's on the starting rotation, you'll be like, oh, hey, it's Steven Matz. Remember him? But I was shocked to see him in London. I did not know he became a reliever for the Cardinals here. I thought he was just on the IL. So when I saw him pitching out of the bullpen in London, I was like, oh, whoa, what are we doing here? So I looked up his numbers. And I was like, wow, he's actually been not a bad reliever for them. Most of it's 1 inning stints, but he's only given up runs in 2 of his relief appearances. So respect to Steven Matz, but he still is 0-7. So that is objectively hilarious. Now, do I really want to back Steven Matz here and trust him in any facet? No, not really. The Cardinals, we've talked about here. The Cardinals are one of my whiffs this year. I thought the Cardinals would be able to get their shit together and come back in this division, but no, they're basically mathematically eliminated already. And Lucas Giolito, we've mentioned it again many times on this program. He's going to be a pitcher traded at the trade deadline. He has all the incentive in the world to pitch well here. He's a contract year. So, I don't want to fade those kind of guys. I actually thought about a first 5 over here or a full game over here, just based off how well the offenses are doing last 2 weeks. Last 2 weeks for the White Sox against lefties, 121 weighted runs created plus there. That's 156, plate appearances too. So I can see why you want to fade Mats there, but Cardinals on the other side against righties, 126 weighted runs created plus for the last 2 weeks. So over, but I pass here. The Cardinals and White Sox are just two teams that I don't trust to get me on an over.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the over is probably the right side. And I think actually if you're betting home run props, I was betting some of them yesterday. I think this is a good game to bet home run props. Ballpark Pal got this game plus, where's it at? Plus 16% home runs, and both pitchers are susceptible to home runs. If you look at Matt's when he's relieving in his relief appearances, he's not really giving up the home run ball. But go back to when he was starting pitcher. He was giving up more home runs than you'd imagine. So I actually like maybe looking at a home run prop. I'm probably digging into it a little bit deeper. And I agree, though. I want the over, but I don't know if I trust the Sox bats at all. And I don't trust Mats at all. So this is another tough game, man. I'm off.
I agree with that. You definitely just got my brain working here because I'm very interested to see who on these White Sox hit lefties really well. And if we just split it down here, I'm splitting. So this is what happens when you want interesting data points for your show. Split team. Jesus, this is becoming more difficult than I anticipated.
I think I got it.
Okay, beautiful.
So versus lefties, let's look at OPS. Versus lefties, Luis Robert. That's a good guy. He's got over 1,000 OPS. He's got 6 home runs on the season, 10 RBIs. He's batting .329. He's the one.
He's the one. I'll tell you, last 30 days against lefties.
Yeah.
And this is this season. This can't be right. How many home runs does Luis Robert have on the season?
He has a total of 26.
Holy fuck. I didn't realize he had that many home runs. Oh my God. Jesus. Well, against lefties this year, the guys who hit home runs against lefties for the White Sox, Luis Robert has 12. The next closest person is Eloy Jimenez with 6. That's fucking crazy. So, a little Luis Robert home run prop there as well. Lou Bob, if I had to give one out, it'd be that. And I was, Troy, you talk about looking at home run props. I've bet like 3, 4 in the last 2 years. My last one, obviously, people will remember Rafael Devers. Shout out to him. But
he went yard, didn't he?
Yeah, it was great. It was awesome. I was the biggest dick moment of my life. It was great. But the other day on July 5th, I remember distinctly, I was like, man, I know the shortstop for the Philadelphia Phillies is going to hit a home run today. On Venezuelan Independence Day, I fucking knew it. And of course, that cunt hit one, and I didn't bet it. And I was like, God damn it. So I'm going to try to open my horizons a little bit. Try to bet home run props a little more, especially because I know people in the chat really enjoy home run props as well. Shout out to my guy Connor Mac Picks. So I will make Luis Robert home run official here today for all the home run heads out there. I will make that official. Now, the most frustrating thing about betting home run props for me is that shout out to my guy Connor because he's in Vegas. He's got 40 different books. He can line shop and find like a plus 1,600 or whatever the fuck it is for home run props. I have 2 books that I use. Shout out to Bovada and Bet Online, and their home run props are never juicy enough. It is quite frustrating. Like I never get like a plus 600, for example, here. So I will bet my shitty odds with the home run props here. Luis Robert is plus. Looks like that's the best we're getting. Plus 340 home run. So I will make that official here on this game. And I will become a part Cuban today if he hits that home run.
All right, I'm riding with you because that's one way for me to get action on this game that I think we're going to see runs.
Yeah, I mean, hey, he's also going to the home run derby here in the next couple of days too. So why not? Why not? And by the way, Mike Gem saying plus 390 on FanDuel, and Nasty Nate just took plus 370.
There's a little 25% bonus on DK that I use for it. $25, 25% boost is plus 360 to plus 450. So
that's nice. That's nice. All right.
Yesterday during the Yankees game, I'm sitting here with my buddy. You know, we both bet heavily on the Yankees, and after the first inning, I'm like, God, I think Josh Donaldson's going to go. He's going to go. He's going to hit a home run, and my buddy was looking at me, and I'm like, I'm dead ass serious. So on the spot, fucking put in the bet that inning within 5 minutes. Josh Donnie goes deep and cashes my home run ticket.
Those are the best. Those are. I was thinking about this, and this is a question I'm going to ask Jimmy one day, and he's going to roll his eyes at me and ignore. But I was thinking, what are the best feelings in sports gambling? Just the things that happen that are the best. Now, I will take cashing your ticket or whatever happens to cash your ticket away from that, because obviously giving the teller your ticket and getting money back is the best feeling in all of sports gambling. But telling your friends about a bet and that bet cashing,
yes,
it's so high up there.
There's nothing better. Especially when you know, like I know Jimmy was pissed the other day because he made a bet and he was all hyped about it, and he had a lot of his boys or people that were close to him on it, and that's the fucking worst, man. When you know people are following and you fucking lose, like it's painful.
Yes. So, and I'll tell you, and yes, Billy as well mentioning the best ticket in all sports gambling is a touchdown prop during football season. That also. Right here, inject that right here into my fucking veins. I fucking love that shit. But I'll tell you, one of the better feelings for me in this regard was fucking the Kentucky Derby. Telling all my friends to bet Mage just because the jockey and trainer were from Venezuela, and that horse winning is a top 3 sports gambling moment in my life. It's so fucking good. It's so my number one, Troy. I remember this completely. It was the Patriots, not Patriots, the Bucks Chiefs Super Bowl, and I'm down like I don't know, like $300 with my bookie. It's a horrible week, whatever it is. And you have to bet the Super Bowl, so I'm just putting like my 5 minutes before the game. I'm putting in a bunch of props. I put in Rob Gronkowski first touchdown prop, and it fucking cashes. It was like plus 1,300. I fucking screamed at my friend's place.
Holy shit, dude. That's crazy because I put in a $4 parlay that had Gronkowski to score the first touchdown and all this shit that happened. But it started with that. And Gronk scored the fucking touchdown. That was the same game I put 2 of my $1,000 risk-free bets on. I put it on the Bucks. And they cashed it for me.
Yeah, I learned not to bet against Brady. Was a Jets fan. That's what I learned. But I'll tell you, it's just the best. That's the best. So shout out to Billy for the touchdown. The touchdown props I love. Easily one of my favorite bets in football too. Let's go back to baseball talk, and let's talk Giants Rockies here. Unfortunately, not as sexy as the Kentucky Derby or home run props. And by the way, I mentioned that getting your friends to tell your bets here because I saw like 5 people in the chat already say, I'm betting Luis Robert home run. So now I'm just going to be sweating the fuck out of every Luis Robert at bat now. Anytime he hits the ball, I'm gonna be like, huh, and freaking out now. So
are you putting a full unit on it?
Oh yeah. No, I put it. It's a sickness, Troy. It's a sickness. I learned from Jimmy. Everything has to be one unit. Everything has to be one unit, no matter what it is. It has to be.
I disagree with that. Like, I would love to have a deeper conversation with Jimmy on that, because I feel like my profitability in my sports betting career has really come from maximizing. Like, it's like the first thing I think about is blackjack. When I was counting cards for a while, successfully too, and I would make the minimum bet. I'd bet the minimum. As soon as I got the count in my favor, I would fucking hammer it, and that's how I ended up getting escorted out of the casino as well. But every bet's not the same, in my opinion. I feel like you get more value on certain spots. You got to increase your unit. Maybe not Luis Robert home run, but
no, I'll tell you, it's sick, Troy. Anytime, and shout out to Preston. Anytime my guy Preston or Jeff or me, we all go in on a ticket, like a big bet. Every fucking time it loses. Every fucking time. It's uncanny. And that is honestly like traumatized me. I'm like, you know what? I'll just stick to my same unit bets. You know, if I cash my underdogs, we'll fucking take it, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, it's just like that. And I know it's for tracking purposes as well here, but I know Jimmy puts like his standard $100 unit on like 90% of his games. The only time he'll switch it up eventually, or like every once in a while, but I do not. I keep it all the same every time, and it helps.
Well, you know, he does it a different way too. Like he does it. He'll double up first 5 full game, or
of course,
full game. So he does get more units on it than one. But
yeah, and he did this the other day with the CFL game that broke his spirit. He had like double units on both bets, so I completely get it. So, but that's just how I go, because I like betting those underdogs. You know, my unit size is small enough on my underdog bets that I can make them confidently and not fucking lose my mind when I lose them. So it helps the minus 300 fades a lot. I'll tell you that. But let's talk Giants Rockies here, because this is a shit bum game that I really have no interest in betting, Troy, even a little bit. I did lean under, but the fact that we're in San Francisco and not Colorado is really taking me off of it. I would love to see 11 here with both these guys, but no fucking thanks.
I love this game. This is my favorite game on the card.
Oh, God. Okay.
And it's because it fits the profile that went 5-0 for me yesterday. I had a 13-unit day yesterday. I just had an outstanding day. And it was all because of the database that shows me that these public teams that are priced at in this range are fucking cashing at an incredible rate. I mean, I just recommend you guys go check out my Twitter. I posted about it yesterday. You'll see a little table about public home favorites catching the market move. I mean, the line's moving towards the Giants. The public's on the Giants. The money's on the Giants. This is the sweet spot. I'm going right back to it. I'm on the Giants double result and Giants full game run line. Mm-hmm. And just digging into it a little bit more. I mean, the more I dug into it, I haven't gotten all the way through it. I mean, I might make this a 5-unit play at the end of the day. A real 5% play for me would be about 8 units, but I'm thinking about increasing this one up to 5. I mean, Freeland on the road, 5.89 ERA, 2.99 opponent batting average, and it's the same as expected. We're not expecting positive regression from him, and Webb has been lights out at the house. So this is a spot that I love, and I think it's going to cash again.
Wow. So you're taking full game run line, and you're taking the double result. You know, I've seen a lot of more people taking double results recently as well.
I started off the season so fucking hot with double results, and then I just started overusing it and ended up giving a lot of my double result winnings back. But I just feel like this is a good spot to do it with Webb versus Freeland. And then I think the Giants play more close games than not. So, you know, you don't have to depend on the 1.5, but I mean, I'm breaking even. If they win the double result and don't cover the run line, I'm breaking even. So
it's good looks. Good looks. I've got nothing on this game. I can see why people are on the Giants. I just don't want to bet the Giants. Really,
I don't bet the Giants. Like I don't like betting the Giants. The last time I bet the Giants, it was their team total over in Toronto.
Shout out to
Remember that game, Bassett?
Yeah.
Bassett versus Wynn. Fuck.
That was a fun game. By the way, shout out to Nutflush Allen joining us as well here, throwing up the money signs there because he knows about the Giants today. And Rocco Rogers is backing Webb going over 5.5 Ks there. BJ saying this is a sweet spot for you as well on the Giants. Steve G, a Rockies fan, saying we are horrible, but I can't bet against the Rockies. So that's extremely relatable content there. But just remember, we are horrible. Mickey Cohen saying this game screams over. A lot of Rockies love in the chat, so I get it. Only one person I think on the a lot of Giants love, I should say, in the chat. Only one person on the Rockies, and it's my guy Markel. So I'll be thinking about you today, Markel. I hope it comes through for you because it'd be nice if we get a split here for the lads. Maybe everyone cashes in some way or form, but yeah, I've got nothing in this game.
So I've built out a decent sized NBA database, and I'm starting to work through the last year's NFL. Building up the database, trying to find out exactly the spot where public's on one side. And I will say this: MLB is the only sport that this trend is so heavy. From what I can see now, my samples on the other sports are small, way smaller than I have in MLB. But I'm telling you right now, public side in MLB looks to be where you want to be.
That's shocking too, huh?
Yeah,
very surprising. I'm very excited, Troy, for the database during football season too. This will be fun to see how that all.
It's gonna be way more dynamic too. Like I'm incorporating a lot more into that one. So
I can't wait. I still, I'm a baseball guy, obviously, but. The fact that I came in second in the fucking Cappers contest for football last year was the biggest shock in my lifetime. So I'm excited to hear your database there because maybe it'll inform me a little bit of how I did that. So maybe I can replicate it. Who knows? Akbar Saleh, shout out to you, my man. I am all good. Thank you. I don't know what Debbie Cab told you, but I am swell. Thank you for asking. And Nutflush sent an invite for something. I didn't see the invite, but send it again, Nutflush. I'd love to see what we're getting invited to. Second to last game on the card, I should say. Pirates, Diamondbacks. Another easy pass for me. But Troy, the second I knew this was an easy pass when I looked up who was pitching for the Pirates, and I looked at my man's last name. I have never heard of this human being once in my entire life. Mylazinski,
and nor did I go look him up either because that's too hard to fucking spell. Let's just
yeah, no, I thought the same thing. I didn't write down anything for him. I just wrote bullpen day, etc. And I looked him up just to be like, is this are we gonna get like 4 innings of this guy? And it's just like 1 inning. I was like, okay, fuck this. I'm not gonna do any research. You're gonna be here for 2 seconds, so yeah. I don't care. It's a Pirates bullpen day. It's Zach Davies. I never want to back either of these fucking guys. No thanks. And by the way, Patrick Corbin just struck out the side to start the game. Let's go fucking Nationals. Come on, Patty. Love that.
Corbin's not as bad as people think.
No, he's not. Shut up. And by the way, this is the invite. Nutflush. Ooh, Nutflush. Jimmy and the family will be at the Nutflush pool party. Low baggers in the area are more than welcome to come by. And he's going to pay off any of my stake bets with a cold beer and a pool. Ugh, Nutflush. Oh, nice. And by Nutflush, can you let people know where you live, or not exact location, but a general vicinity so people, the California Cappers, know? God damn, I want to be out there now. Son of a bitch. But so let's move on. I'm going to be thinking about that pool party for the rest of the day now. You know what I can't imagine, and this is going to freak people out already. I cannot imagine Jimmy the Bag in a pool. I can't imagine him in a body of water. I can only imagine him just capping in a corner and just enjoying the look of the pool. So shout out to Jimmy. I'm excited to see what he does there. My guy there. By the way, for those inside peek at Jimmy the Bag, bad texter, Jimmy the Bag. I blow up Jimmy's phone often, and it's very fun it's like 7 texts from me, 1 text from Jimmy. So that's there's your inside information on Jimmy the Bag there. But I had nothing on this fucking game. I wanted nothing to do with it. I passed this game fairly easily. Troy, did you have anything on this one?
No, I passed on this game as well. I seen Maladzinski or whatever, however you pronounce it, and I was like, yeah, I'm not going through this right now. Like, there's too much other shit on the board. Zach Davies is a guy that I want to fade as well. Yeah, we could just move on.
Yeah, and the name Carmen is making a comeback for the Bear from the Bear because of the Bear. Shout out to the Bear on Hulu. Great show that you guys should watch. But I'm out on Carmen's playing baseball, unfortunately. Carmen's can cook my food, but not start games for me. Last game on the card, Sunday Night Baseball. The game that I guarantee you when ESPN scheduled this game, they were like, oh, fuck yeah. We're going to end the first half with two of the teams that are going to be competing for the World Series. Two division leaders, the Padres, the Mets. Let's go. And now we've got two teams that aren't going to make the playoffs with at least one pitcher that's been kind of underperforming, even though he's 8-2 this year. I don't know what to do with these squads. And by the way, BJ, official play here, we mentioned it off the top. Thank you for putting it in here again. Padres money line, 3 units. We know how big units are for BJ. Mr. Scherzer gives up a lot of home runs and inconsistency on the road. And Musgrove's been dominant lately. Rocco Rogers dropping a Padres first 5 in here as well. Interesting. I didn't have any leans on this game here. I didn't have on the side at least, but I definitely thought about the over in this game. Shockingly enough, it's funny that the overs that interest me are absolutely the ones where we have two dominant pitchers at. And Scherzer and Musgrove, we know are two name brand pitchers that we think are good here. But I just don't believe in him all that much. I faded Musgrove at the beginning of the year when he was coming back, and that was easy because it was kind of like his spring training. He's been great. 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run against the Angels, 6 innings, 7 hits, 2 earned runs against the Pirates, excuse me. So I could see it. But I ultimately just didn't want to get there. Padres against righties last 2 weeks are 4th best, 127, and so are the Mets. They're tied for 3rd and 4th best, I guess, both at 127 weighted runs created plus. So I can see the over here, especially after Christopher Comentini saying Peterson shut down the Padres, and Blake Snell was dealing against the Mets. So two good defensive games or pitching games last night definitely makes me feel like it can go over tonight here. But I just, don't want anything to do with this game, unfortunately, either. It'll be a fun game to watch, but not to bet on.
Yeah, I am on the over in this game. And I know earlier I was talking about totals at 8.5, and it's just crazy to me that totals that set at 8.5 go under at a 58-59% rate. But if you go down to 8, totals that open at 8 and close at 8 in my sample, 33-17, 66% to the over. And that trend gets way stronger if you filter it down to when 70% of cash is on the under. 70% plus of cash is on the under, and the total's at 8, 13-3 to the over.
That's shocking. And you mentioned it, 58 or 57% of the bets, 85% of the money on the under here, and it's just 8, stayed at 8, still at 8, stuck at 8. Yeah, I think this is an over game.
Right.
And by the way, Damon Santori will be at this Padres game. So that makes me even like the over even more. Because I know Damon Santori is going to be in the second row, motherfucking Max Scherzer, and telling Juan Soto to hit bombs. So, I like that. I like that, Damon. And by the way, he's on first 5 under, full game over, which is kind of what I was thinking here. If I wanted to bet the over, I'm going to take full game here because I would like a little bullpen implosion, perhaps. So I think I'm going to move on it officially here. Mets, Padres over. So that will be a fun game to watch. Over 8 for me here. And it is at minus 108 there. I want to check on our friends at Bet Online real quick. It looks like minus 105 for me here for the over 8 official there. Troy, you're on the over.
Yeah, I'm on the over, and I'm just still manipulating, creating more iterations in the database. So we got reverse line movements in this game too, I believe. A higher percentage of money is on the Padres, but the line's moving towards the Mets. So filter down to reverse line movement. Total closes at 8. Market doesn't move. 9-3 to the over. I mean, pretty much every iteration of this is over. So I'm riding the over.
Oh boy, this is gonna be fun. By the way, splits for the money line here: 34% of the bets on the Padres, but 61% of the money on them here as well. I guess this is a Padres in the over spot. I guess this is send me what it seems like, but I'm on the over 8 there. I just wrote over -105. I didn't even write the fucking number. Over 8 there, so it's gonna be fun. I'm excited about this card here today, Troy, and I very much enjoyed capping it with you. I appreciate you for joining the program. Hopefully, we can do this a lot more in the second half as well. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Nasty Nate on Padres, first 5 in there. Damon, Gagnon, Lucius Fox, BJ. All you guys, and thank you, BJ. It's a nice compliment. I appreciate it. Not Flush Allen's pool. Appreciate him and his antics out there. I can't wait. I'd love to Nut Flush text me. And I'm obviously I probably can't drop everything and fly to California tomorrow. But I'm excited to hear all the stories from that. So,
hey, I just want to say, I feel like I have to tell the chat that, man, there's only one place like this in the world, right? It's at Pub Sports Radio. There's no community like this. Any other content creators or YouTube channels, there's just nothing like it. I mean, just being part of this community has brought my ROI up to profitable. I really feel like I definitely wasn't profitable until I started running with the low bag fam. So
yeah, hey, who would have thought sports gambling on your own, fucking hard. Who would have thought?
It takes a lot of bad beats and getting your ass whooped to realize, in my opinion, how much the market matters. So
I agree with you wholeheartedly there. It's so funny when you think about it, just like on just a random thing. Like, of course, if you work together with people, you're going to be better. Like it just right. It just makes so much sense. So yeah, I agree wholeheartedly with you. And of course, like this helps me a lot too. Like I obviously capping baseball publicly for the fucking second time for like a full season, I guess. And we obviously started off super hot last season. We're up like 30 units for the whole year, and then I fucking crashed down the earth at the end. This year's the exact opposite. We've been fucking battling our dick off all year. And I'm going to end the year positive, so I'm very confident about that. So
where are you at right now? You're pretty close, right?
I'm at -15 right now. Like I think I'm 15.84 units down after a 3-3 day on Friday, I believe it was. So we were down 30 units at one point. So I'm very satisfied with 15 right now. We're going to keep climbing back here. It's funny. It's like 2 3-day stretches for me as well just collapse my my season.
Bro, I just had that last week. It's pretty ridiculous. I mean, so I'm gonna actually post this on my Twitter after today because my week closes on Sunday, Monday through Sunday. So I'll post a little summary of my unit trend year to date. It's gonna be like a little fucking like you'd see a stock chart, right?
Yep.
Dude, you're gonna see a massive crash that happened at the end of June. So I'm working my way out of it.
I should create a line graph with my action.
Yeah.
It just be just down, and then the steady just climbs back for the rest of the season. It would be hilarious to see. Again, we appreciate everyone in here in the chat as we even when we're bullshitting here at the end. Tori Coker, BJ, Real Deal. Lucius Fox saying to pray for Matty Ice because Bobashek's streak got broken. Nut Flush, I appreciate the offer for the airport pickup as well. So you're making it more enticing every day, And after Monday, I've got a couple days off too, which is rare and nice. But let's get after this card here, Troy, because it's a full card, and I've got 2 big underdog plus money spots here, so I cannot wait for this. Let's start off. I'll go first here. Cubs, Yankees, first 5 under 5, minus 120. Cleveland Guardians, Royals, first 5 under 4.5, minus 115. And the Royals money line, plus 196 there. Going to be fun watching that game. Toronto, Detroit, first 5 under 4.5, minus 120. We've got the Mets, Padres, over 8 at minus 105, a rare one there for me, and over. Toronto, minus 1 at plus 101. And the jack of the day for us, trademark Connor Mack, Luis Robert, home run, plus 340 for me. Troy Torrance, what are you on?
So I'm on the Cubs first half money line, plus 115. That's down now. I think the plus 105. Maybe you get a plus 110 somewhere. I'm on Tigers, Jays, under 8.5, minus 105. Marlins money line, minus 110. Giants run line, minus 120. Giants double result, minus 140. Padres, Mets over 8, minus 105. And the Lou Bob home run, plus 450.
It's so funny to me that I can make all these bets, and now Lou Bob home run is going to be the most important one for me the entire night. Because again, all my friends are tailing me here, and there's nothing more nerve-wracking than when your friends tail you. But again, the most satisfying feeling when you cash that bet. When you cash that bet and you make it.
Yeah.
It's the best.
And I have a feeling we're cashing today. And good luck to everybody in the chat.
Of course, yes. Good luck to everyone, and we appreciate you guys. You will not see our smiling faces for quite a little bit. It's going to be interesting. There will be, I believe, Sharpie and Connor Mack are doing a mini Balking Dead on Monday. They're going to be talking about the home run derby and all that. That'll be interesting. If you guys want an AL and NL guess for the All-Star game, because it's just a fucking guess, I picked the National League here. But I think the American League has won like 6 straight years now. I remember growing up, it was like 20 years of the American League just dominating. So it's very streaky, this All-Star game, it seems. But I really have nothing on the All-Star game or home run derby. So check in on Monday with those guys. They'll be cashing for us and for you guys. I will be back on Friday morning, betting with Bouquet. Jimmy is still in Vegas, or not in Vegas, in California then. So he will be joining, or I will be joined by all of his regular Friday guests. It'll be a lot of fun. And then Saturday, Say Hey plays again, back 10 a.m. East, or 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. Eastern, et cetera, et cetera.
Hey, Jose, the next MLB game is on Friday then, or Saturday?
The next is on Friday. So
you'll fuck off for like 5 days.
Yeah, it's weird. Again, I don't know what to do with free time often. Rem Most is giving me something that I should do. I need to get my hair cut. That is 100% fact. So Rem Most, I will give you the Jose Bouquet guarantee that I will get a haircut in the next 3 or 4 days, and I will look completely different when I come back here. So I got you there, my guy Rem. Luchas, Real Deal, Jacqueline, AOD, Mike M. Shout out to my man, the Pimp Slap Play of the Day, Mike M. Going to have him on the show more in the next second half, I should say. Chaz White, who only watches the show because of my hair. I appreciate you, Chaz White. It'll be a lot of fun. J-Dub, that wedding planning is still happening. Don't you worry, my guy. Don't you worry. That's still on pace. But it'll be a whole lot of fun. Troy, where do people find you at?
Just find me on Twitter. My Twitter handle is in my @ right there, Troy Torrance 11. That's where I'm at right now.
Is that how many touchdowns you caught, Troy? 11? Because you just too good with it?
I had more than that.
The All-American.
Hey, Jimmy. Yeah, well, I won't get into that actually.
I can't wait. It's gonna be fun. I love Jimmy's cleat chasing too. Any former athlete amongst the low baggers, Jimmy will find you. Jimmy will find you. Again, appreciate you guys. It's going to be a week without you guys. I will miss you guys. You can find us on Twitter, like Troy said, at Troy Torrance 11, at Jose Bouquet. Follow me, tweet me, make fun of my picks, whatever. Just follow and support the pub. That's all we care about. Hit the like button on your way out. Shout out to you, Troy. Say hey, guys, and we'll see you guys on Friday for another edition of Say Hey Plays. Second half, baby. We did the first half. We survived.